What the fuck now? Oh, what now? Hello, everybody. How we doing? Hey, Lil. Before you go downstairs, come here. Before you, not a rush. Before you go downstairs. Where are we at here? 139 on the membership. Pamela, hello. Everybody else, hello. Everybody, hello. Evening. Yes. Okay, so careful, I'm live. But I got a keychain that is, it's got a little website thing on it. It's got my website, and so if anybody goes, "Hey, where you?" It's you scan the back. This is an Instagram one. Do you want it?
It's for your Instagram?
No, it's for any Instagram you load onto it. I have a website one on my keychain. They sent a free Instagram one. If you want to put your Instagram on it, and if everybody's like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" They could just scan your keychain, and it takes them to your Instagram. That's how you do it.
Okay.
If you want it, they sent it for free. If you look at my keychain, it's just got a different logo on it. It looks like a website logo, and I just did my website. You can get one for YouTube, TikTok, whatever. But they push them for Instagram. And so whenever you buy any of the other ones, they send you an Instagram one automatically. And so you scan it, you put it to the back of your phone, you scan that thing, and then next thing you know.
Can I ask your people a question?
Okay.
Do you guys think the ends of my hair look scraggly?
Welcome to Tom's Live, where we're doing hair stuff.
For real? That was at me. She's angry that I said that the bottom of her hair when she.
This is my daughter Lily.
When she pulled up a section that it would look straggly, is what I said. Not that it does look straggly.
Grinch 83. No, your hair is fine. Thank you. A little frizzy, maybe. Wow. Not frizzy, you guys. Scraggly.
If you want to ask questions, you're going to get answers. I'm just saying. You done admiring yourself?
Well, I was showing them, but I think it looks cute. So, I guess thanks to the people. You want this closed?
No, you can leave it open right now, but there you're going to take that keychain? All right, yeah. Good. Right on. How do you like those new cones? Dun, dun, dun!
Tom?
What?
She was able to get raw cones.
Yeah, I think they're back in the state now.
What are you talking about back in the state? They were always in the state for me.
You could not get them
I think
online.
I was just about to say I just think you couldn't get them shipped, but I was always able to buy.
Maybe it was
raw
a ship.
cones.
Listen, when the shipping issue started, you couldn't get them at the smoke shops in town.
I could always get them in the city.
In town here, you
Talking about
couldn't.
just cones or papers too.
Raw cones.
I could always get raw cones. I've
Okay.
never been not seen raw cones in a smoke shop. You like that one, boss? You like that one?
Good evening. I'm your spirit animal. Right on. You got a cool family. Thank you very much. She's a beautiful young lady. She's. What? You're shocked at what? Okay, I'm going to shut the door because I can hear that. No. Still on Grinder? Dude, you're really going to have to come with something better than that. Jesus fucking Christ. One serious question and one silly question. Go ahead. Guys, if you could tap the fuck out of the screen, blow up the live, send it into the For You page. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Cleo. Hamster, thank you very much for being a paying member. I can tell by the little sticker you have next to your name. Thank you very much. The trolls are out because it's Sunday. The trolls are out every day because they don't have a fucking life. Delaware, hello. Let's get together and feel alright, motherfucker. Now, one love. Can I explain why Lindsey Graham is so insane? No, I can't. I have no explanation as to why he is the way he is. Maybe living his entire life not being out in the open as to what he truly is has finally gotten to him.
You need tape.
You need, I'm sorry, what?
You need tape.
Oh,
Packing tape?
oh, here, is that the thing? I'll take care of it. Is that the,
Yeah. So,
I just need to put that over this part
yeah, so I would just cut
and then
it.
just like maybe rewrite my
Oh,
name
yeah, I
in
didn't
here.
even think, you want me to,
No, I'll,
just, we have a sticker?
yeah, I got it. I'll take care of it. Thank you very much. Kick back, logged in, the crew's all here, virtual vibes, lifting spirits, all clear, lighting up the chat, laughter fills the air, rolling up the good times, nothing to despair. Are you writing poetry in the comment section? Especially your airport in Chicago ICE agents. What the fuck? How did we get on airports all of a sudden? Did I miss a whole segment? Do you think when Donnie Boy finally croaks, the country will heal finally, or is the damage he's done irreparable? The damage is not irreparable, but it's going to be the celebration of a fucking century. As a bud tender in Canada, have you ever tried anything new lately? Listen, I try whatever my guy puts in the bag. Thank you very much, 9746 for the $5 donation. Thank you for being with us at a time like this. They said, you're welcome. I thank you for the $5 donation. That is greatly helpful, seriously. No, whatever my guy puts in the bag is what I have, just whatever he puts in the bag. I don't know what it is. It's always good. It always changes. It always has a nice flavor and a good smell to it. Well, not evenly lit there. That is unfortunate. Donald Trump gave 24 hours Democrat Party before he puts ICE agents to help TSA. The Democrats have already put 7 different bills on the floor of the House in order to fully fund TSA, the Coast Guard, and FEMA. The Republicans won't vote for it. Every single Democrat is a yes vote. Every single Republican is a no vote. Donald Trump can give the Democrats 24 hours all he fucking wants. It's his own party that needs to act. Oh, ICE is going to be in the airports tomorrow, and it's going to be a fucking disaster. They're already going there tomorrow to the major airports. What's Renee's YouTube channel? Renee Violet Powell. Is weed legal in Illinois? Yep, has been for years. Do you think the 20-something Doge boys will serve prison time? Even if they're convicted on a federal charge, Donald Trump is just going to pardon them, so it doesn't really fucking matter. The Trooper loved the t-shirt. Amen. One of the greatest metal bands of all time, Iron Maiden. Yeah, for some reason he thinks there are a shit ton of undocumented immigrants flowing through America's airports. Kankakee, Illinois. Both me and my husband watch you all the time. You guys are an hour down the road. Winnie the Pooh party is not for another week. Run for the hills. Run to the hills. Run for your life. Be a shame if that highway named after Charlie Kirk became a bottleneck. Yeah, I'm an hour up the road from you. I'm up by Joliet. What do you think of Prince, one of the most underrated guitarists of all time? I forgot my ID once, and it was a nightmare to fly. I can imagine. You know what the bitch about it is we just got approved for the what the fuck do you call them? TSA pre-checks. Global entry. We just got our cards. And now all of the airports in the country are fucked. Have I ever had Beggar's Pizza? Unfortunately. Your husband ran into me at Sam's in Joliet, but he was too shy to say hi. Well, tell him the next time to say hi. I go to Costco up in Plainfield on 30, and everybody says hi. Not as much at Sam's. Have a concert, what, in a few months? Not a fan, huh? I would bet you like Garibaldi's. Wow, I haven't even thought about Garibaldi's in forever. Garibaldi's, if you're talking about, I prefer mom and pop pizza joints. Your brother lives in Morris, right on. We go there all the time as well, the one in Plainfield. Yep. Got to go there in the next couple of days. My dog's pills will be ready. You got to play loud today, so today was a good day. My sister is flying home from Japan into Logan on Thursday. Any thoughts on what they're going to be doing to people coming in? I mean, we were all born here. No fucking clue. They're going to be putting TSA or ICE agents at the airport to act as TSA agents. And when Tom Homan was asked today if TSA was going to be looking for undocumented immigrants or people that shouldn't be in the country in the airports while conducting TSA security, he said, of course. So, yeah, who knows who they're going to pull out of line? I have no idea. I can't give you a guarantee or not a guarantee because I can't. It might go smooth as silk. They might pull everybody out of line. I mean, it's fucking ICE. We have no idea. Hopefully, it's just plug and play, right? Hopefully they're just putting an ICE agent into a TSA role and they're just keeping lines moving. Hopefully. But I don't know. A Canadian who had his mouth swabbed at the border and threatened with a mouth swab for what? They could go ahead and arrest me. They're not swabbing my fucking mouth. Yeah, DNA for what though? Why are they taking his DNA? Summer immigrants is in Cincinnati, Ohio today. What? Deathstroke, low kids. Will there be a lockdown because of the fuel shortage? I mean, a lockdown as far as what? You can't leave your house? I highly doubt that that's going to happen. Tony's Italian in Edison Park. Nice. Gas prices will keep us all home. That's the more likely outcome, is just that, people are going to start cutting back because they just can't afford the goddamn gas. Gas here is already $4, over $4. What am I drinking? Water. Guys, if you could please tap the fuck out of the screen, tap the fuck out of the likes. If you can, hit the little arrow and share the live to your Facebook, to your Threads, to your Bluesky, to your Substack, whatever. I always drink water. Well, I mean, occasionally I will have, I'll have a couple of these a day, Orange Crush, but for the most part, it's water. Have you ever handcuffed a fart and smelled it or sniffed it? Yes. Grew 18 pounds last season, staying home. Okay. Wait till fertilizer shortages hit. That's where shit's going to start getting nasty. If we start seeing a much further delay in fertilizer, natural gas supplies moving out of the region there, we're going to be seeing some shit get kind of hinky here. Did you imagine your old years doing this? No. Not in a million fucking years. In my 40s, I couldn't have imagined doing this, let alone in my 30s or my 20s. The alternating license plate thing allowed into gas stations. Listen, I don't know if we're going to get to that point. I mean, geez, the Trump administration lifted sanctions on Iranian fuel already at sea so that Iran could sell that fuel here at our ports so that we could get more fuel on the market. Make that make sense. We're buying fuel from the country we're currently attacking. Wait. We are already borrowing fertilizer from New Mexico, already from sod farmers. Yeah. And that's the sod farmers. We're not even talking about getting into the agricultural realms where we're talking about feed product. What kind of dog do you got? We have an 11-year-old yellow lab named Clyde Eugene Powell. How long do you think we'll be in Iran for? I don't think he knows a way out right now, so there's no telling. We keep ratcheting this thing up more and more and more. Now we're threatening to take out their power plants, so they're threatening to take out desalination plants, which the Arab nations rely on heavily, as most of these countries, Qatar and places like that, Kuwait, they get 90+% of their drinking water by pulling it from the sea and running it through a desalination process. And Iran's talking about taking out all of those desalination plants if their power plants get hit. But Trump's talking about hitting our power plants. So, it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And I don't know when it's going to stop because I don't know if there are any cooler heads to prevail right now. I help with your sanity. Oof. You're in a rough spot then, my friend. Thank you for the kind words. If I'm your voice of sanity. Much love from Wisconsin. Hello. Love the trooper shirt or whatever the portion I see looks like it. Yes, it is. It is the trooper. Living in a van down by the river is a genuine retirement plan for me in Canada. Listen, the notion of living in a van down by the river has changed drastically over the course of my lifetime. When I was a child, that meant you were a bum. You failed in life. Now it's an aspiration. More and more people are living the van / bus / mobile nomadic life. People are realizing that they can either work remote jobs or offer their skills like through maybe like a Fiverr on a contract basis and do it all remotely, and they can travel while they do it. They don't have to be tied down to a massive mortgage or a very expensive rent. They can be mobile for a few years and maybe save some money. Yeah, Besant and Duffy on the Sunday shows today talking about showing the president empathy and grace. They can all line up to kiss the darkest part of my lily white ass. I wish it was easier to get freelance work. What kind of freelancer work are you talking about, Ahoy? If you don't mind me asking. What'll take 2 weeks to get to Dubai? 50,000, I think was the last number. I'm living in an RV since 2020 in Canada, traveling around. You're the one that doesn't have the bills that the rest of us have. So I mean, if anybody says that you're the one that's living the weird or alternative lifestyle, which what you do you have a mortgage or a monthly rent? Utilities? No. Because just having the house and keeping the lights and gas on, that's close. That's $2,000. Teaching English as a foreign language to adults. Market is still flooded post-pandemic. Gotcha. Coaching people for job interviews and public speaking. I'm very good at that. My godparents' son is in IT, and I did it for years and made bank. I discovered you after the Illinois primaries. Loved what you had to say about it. Well, thank you very much, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Are you in Illinois, I'm assuming? Stay hydrated. I always do. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I'm fine. I'm trying to get my videos back up on the For You page here on the Tube View. And the way that I can do that is by you guys interacting with the content as much as possible. DuPage County. That's where my wife and I got married, in the courthouse. DuPage County. DuPage, if you will. What's happening, brother? Same shit, different pile. Miguel. Most people can't handle a $400 emergency. Yeah. And I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. For fucking years and years and years and years and years and years, neither could we. So, I got no room to talk about anybody that can't handle a $400 emergency. That's for sure. And I know that you're not. I'm just saying it is a damn shame that so many people are in that position. I mean, $400. There years and years and years where it was, got to wait till we get paid to do that. Got to wait till we get paid to do that. There isn't $400 sitting around where we can go do that. There isn't a couple of grand sitting around where we can go do that. You know, I'm at the point now where I like to keep enough cash on hand, if at all possible, to where like it literally like if the stove died today, we could go pay cash and be done with. Not even putting it on a credit card if we didn't need to. That's kind of where I want to be right now. And you know, even that can be difficult with some of the prices that you've got to pay on a day-to-day basis just to fucking live. You know. You're looking for a man to hug and kiss? If my service dog gets sick, it will be far more than 400, right? Water heater, tire on the car. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm we that's where I want to be pretty much at a regular level, right? If I can if something like that were to happen, fuck, I need to get a water heater. Fuck, I need to, you know what I mean? Like if we need to have a new well drilled, I'd be talking to the well company about putting me on a payment plan, right? Obviously, they do that. Wells are $20,000 to $35,000. But if it was a washer, if the dryer died, if the refrigerator died, I just want to be in a position and knock on wood. Luckily, we are right now. Well, hopefully, it'll last. Where we can go make that happen real quick. You earned a like and a sub. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did you look into pet insurance? I looked into pet insurance years ago, and there was something about it that just didn't seem like it made it financially worth it. I asked my vet about insurance. Yeah, see, he says it wasn't worth it. How you doing, Cody? Cash on hand is the only way to go. Listen, don't get me wrong. We carry credit card balances for certain things, and we'd like to get to the point where those are all gone as well. But cash on hand is something that needs to happen right now in this world. You know, you sell pet insurance and it's a scam. I'm just asking a question. I'm not trying to be rude. Why do you sell it if you know it's a scam? What do you think about Frankism? What is Frankism? Live in Ireland. Our diesel for our cars is going up daily. We can't. Yeah, it's in U.S. dollars here. It's over $5 a gallon, which is really beginning to hurt the semi drivers. Pet insurance is a scam. Why? Somebody asks. We got lucky during the pandemic. Did the Dave Ramsey's method of paying off debt, and it helped a ton. Right on. How do you eat your beef when you head over to Al's? I'm curious because I can't wait to go back. Dipped, no peppers, with some fries and a tamale. They're really disgusting. The U.S. doesn't produce any oil. Only our diesel is $4.79 in Oklahoma. What is gasoline sitting at $3.75 over here? Gasoline here is for the it's just under $4 at the Sam's Club, which is the cheapest, but everywhere else it's just over $4. Anywhere from in the low fours to the 14s right now, 4.15, 4.19, somewhere in that range. The enemy within. That sounds familiar, but I'm not placing a face. I'm making you hungry. Sorry. Get yourself some food. 478 unleaded by you. See, if this keeps going, we're gonna have $5 and $6 a gallon gas, and we're not just talking about California. We're talking about everywhere else. 2 crowns without dental insurance in Florida, $3,000. Can we not talk about dental prices for a moment because we just paid off the boys' braces? We've now paid for 3 sets of braces, a few pulls, wisdom teeth yanked, this, that, the other, and I'd just like to maybe not have to deal with too many dental costs for a moment. 5.70 a gallon near you? Fuck. Almost 4. See, when you're hearing that it's almost 4 in Georgia, then you know shit's going to start to get out of hand everywhere else. Your stocks are getting hammered right now? Yeah. So we still have a little bit in stocks. It's all in Cresco Labs. It's not much. It really is not much. And I watch Cresco Labs go up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And every now and again, when I see them go down, I'll put $100 in there or $200 in there and buy a few more because it went down. But yeah, I'm watching the market and I'm like, it's fucking out of control. We're back down under 46,000. And we're probably going to be down to 40,000 in a couple of weeks if we don't get the fuck out of the Middle East soon. I have never been to St. Elmo's Steakhouse in Indianapolis. I'm on the waiting list for Indianapolis Colts season tickets, and if I can get Indianapolis Colts season tickets, which it might take another year or two to get, who knows, how long that waiting list is, and shockingly affordable because there are only 8 games. Then yeah, I would like to go to some games down in Indianapolis with Renee and go to St. Elmo's Steakhouse. I heard it's phenomenal. Taryn Bailey for governor. Good luck, Blue Shirt. Good luck. Shell fuel rewards. If you stick at it, you can get up to 30 cents off a gallon. Plus, at least you get 22 cents. So we just do the Sam's Club because it's always 20 to 30 cents cheaper a gallon to begin with at Sam's Club, and then we get points through Sam's. We build up rewards points, and that adds up to, I don't know what it was this past Christmas, but if we let it go all year, we buy some groceries there, we put our gas on it, then it's a couple of $100 built up by the end of the year that Renee usually uses around the holidays for whatever the hell we need to use it around the holidays for. But it's already 20 to 30 cents cheaper than anywhere else. If we were to go to the Shell around here, we would pay 30 cents a gallon more than what we would pay just going to the Sam's Club right now. And I forget what the annual membership is, but I think annually it's $100, maybe. So, and yeah, like I said, it builds up over the course of the year, and it's usually a couple of $100 that it pays for a chunk of like the Christmas dinner or something. 7-Eleven has a discount like that right now. You can get 11 cents off per gallon. Are there 7-Elevens that have gas pumps? I guess I never really paid attention. I always viewed them as like a straight up convenience store in a strip mall somewhere, but I guess there are some 7-Elevens with gas, aren't there? Do you have Giant Eagle in Illinois? Not that I'm aware of. Shell works for me. They are literally 3 on my way to work. Okay, I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. You know what I mean? $9.07 per gallon for diesel. Where are you at? Expensive to own a gas guzzler these days? Yes, indeed. Or a boat or any kind of toy. Nice skulls, thank you very much. I'm in New York City, and yes, all here have GAD pumps. Paying $3.19 before it got high, really. We were down to 290s. We were down in the 290s, and then it has really jumped. We're over a buck. You've made it to a live stream and you've got a blunt rolled. Well, then fucking, I guess it's time for everybody to light them if they've got them. Everybody do the thing. I'm working on this one here. It's it's down from that. Conley. Conley, did you happen to receive a package today or no? If not, it'll probably be tomorrow. Safety meeting time. Everybody gather around. Make sure you've got a partner. It'll probably be tomorrow then, Conley. Young old men wiseness? What does that mean? Steve is full of shit, somebody yells out. It's kind of random. You're about to hit some grape punch. Right on. You pay more for the actual cost that comes in the States. We pay more than the actual cost via income tax. Just ripped the bong 5 minutes ago, but I'll do another for the group. Way to put in the team effort. You got a fatty lit? Well, right on. How would I like a Hawaiian punch? You talking about the beverage? I don't mind the beverage Hawaiian punch. If you're talking about a strain, I don't know. Maybe I've had it, maybe I haven't. I don't know. Is if Tommy Lee Powell Jr., Tommy Lee Jones, and Tommy Lee got into a fight tournament, who would win? Just lit a spliff. Probably Tommy Lee or Tommy Lee Jones. Bud's Got Smokes 420. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. You mess with hash, dabs, bong, or anything other than joints. I don't mess with hash. I'm afraid that my lungs are going to implode like a billionaire submarine on the way to the Titanic if I do a dab. And I don't fuck with bongs unless I can pack the bong with snow because it gets a little bit harsh. 99.9999999% of my consumption comes in that form right there. Just an old school joint. Well, I guess new school considering it is a cone and not a regular old paper like we used to roll with back in the day, but just a joint guy. Yeah, the bongs are for the youngins, in my opinion. I know more younger kids that do bongs than older people. Don't let this distract from the fact that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines, and on top of that, he just went into Harry's and bought 3 T66 turbos with NOS. Are you having a separate conversation that was accidentally transmitted into the comment section here? You pack your bongs with snow? Yes. So there are 2 working theories with bongs to make your bong hit you don't feel it. And the one that I know that works is you pack it with snow. Now, people used to pack it with shaved ice or really cold ice water. If you can get snow, in my opinion, it works the best. You don't feel the hit. You take the biggest rips you've ever had, but you don't feel it. And when you let it go, you're like, holy shit, that was in my lungs. I've heard many people say the other way that works is to put boiling hot water in your bong. Either way, I don't know about the boiling hot water, but the snow bongs, I know they work for sure. So you maybe start with really, really fucking cold ice water. Maybe start with shaved ice if you can't get snow where you're at. But yeah, the colder you can make it, the less you feel it going into your lungs. I hate the fact that YouTube is now doing this thing where It says this message is held for review. View message. What are you reviewing? You just let the comments come through. Yes, and ice and bongs, yes. I can't imagine hot water, but I've never used a bong. I have seen people use hookahs with ice water in Europe. I'm a hot water guy, but like you, it's mostly cones. Why would I roll when the cone is so easy? Exactly. Exactly. The cone is just, it is really simplified rolling, and you can crank out multiple cones at one time. I have that 6 shooter. I don't think that that works as well as people think it does. Some of the comments held for review aren't even bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out if I can just kind of let comments come through. Rolling is so easy. We used to roll all the time. We used to roll all the time. JOBs, tops. But ever since the cone, I've been using cones now for years. Is the March 28th No Kings protest worldwide? I don't know. The best roller friend I had served time, LOL. He learned, what was that? To roll his own cigs in prison? Yes.
Though you're getting those comments because the community tab was opened. And we have it so that it's moderated, that if there's sensitive comments, they're gonna be.
Because of that community thing that we
Yes.
started. Got you. Okay.
So in order to have stuff that is not just outright against all the rules, we had to give up some control, because it does across the whole platform.
Gotcha. So that's going to happen in the comment sections of the videos then as well, I'm assuming?
I would assume so.
Gotcha.
So,
More hidden comments to just go through and unhide. Yeah, that's fine.
so I'll just go in and release them, you know. a couple
Are you
times.
done?
No, turtles fuck faster than I'm working right now.
Okay. Love you. I have nerve damage from a landscape accident and you can't roll anymore. Interesting. Vicky Powell for the save. Yes, Conley, years ago. Everyone laughs at how I roll. If it works for you, then it works for you. Always a great woman being a good, you mean behind a good man, I think. I always use my joint rolling machine. So we rolled our own cigarettes, but we used a machine to do that, and we used, I guess what would be the equivalent to, they're called tubes, what would be the equivalent to the cigarette cone. The filter and the paper already done with no tobacco in it. And so you get, I think the boxes had like 1,000 in them, maybe. And you'd sit there with a big bag of tobacco and your machine on a tray, and you just fucking cranked out like a carton while you watched your hour-long favorite show. Zigzags, yeah. And here's the thing: when you were a roller, because we preferred rolling over the bowls, obviously, but when you were a roller, the packaging of the papers, your rolling papers, actually came in handy, because the weed was so shitty back then. It had a shit ton of seeds and stems. So what I used to do is, like I said before, I had this large oval rolling tray. It was really a beer tray. It was a Budweiser beer tray with a tall lip on the edge. And I'd put all my weed on one end, and I would take a pair of regular old house scissors that you have in your junk drawer, and I would put my hand over the weed, and I would just run the scissors back and forth underneath while twisting the weed around. That was before we were buying grinders. And you chop that shit up real fine, and within all of that fineness, you had your seeds and stem, and it was all at the end of the tray, and you would take the flap of the rolling packaging, and you'd tilt the tray ever so slightly at an angle, and you'd sift through all of that freshly ground herb and whatever seeds and stems they would fall out and come down to the other end. And that's how we cleaned and separated our weed back in the day. What is that? A marshmallow high? It's called. Thank you. That was interesting. Album covers. Yep. I've seen many joints rolled on album covers. We used to cut booger sugar lines on the back of CD covers. How ridiculous is Charlie Kirk Way? It's pretty fucking ridiculous. But, these people are absolutely fucking obsessed. Absolutely fucking obsessed with a fucking podcaster. It just doesn't make any sense. Your current strain is unicorn poop. There you go. Go to Arunza. You regret much in life. You don't need to open up to us here if you don't feel like you have to. My friend and I once smoked a joint rolled from the Genesis page of the Bible. Well, right on. We used to party at a friend's house. Her name was Lita. And her mom was a biker chick, and her biker friends would hang out there, and they would let the kids party there. We were fucking 14 and 15 years old. And we would get high as a fucking kite on the shittiest brickweed ever and sit in Lita's mom's living room with the bikers watching the lava lamp go. I remember thinking how fucking amazing that lava lamp was. You're 14 years old, you're higher than a fucking kite, and you're sitting next to some 43-year-old biker watching a lava lamp go on a Saturday night. It's been a weird life. That's all. Yes, there was always one guy in the group that could hand roll as well as you got a pre-rolled cigarette. I could roll pretty decently. When I first started rolling, I was always rolling them Prego joints, right? I was narrow on the ends and fat as fuck in the middle, and you had to burn all the way through that fat part. Otherwise, you were going to be losing some weed in there if you were starting to put it out during that fat part. And then I got my technique down, and I wasn't as good as a pre-rolled cigarette, but I could roll pretty decently back in the day. After all, practice makes perfect, and I had a lot of fucking practice. Smoking zigzag since 1970. Now I roll a classic black with a tip. This is a name of a video game console, a band. Huh? I can roll with one hand. Nice. So everyone's got their specialty. I could never do the one hand thing, and I could never get them absolutely perfect. But my specialty was the giant joints. People would come to me and say, hey, could you roll me one of them giant joints? And they would bring all the material needed. And my specialty was I could roll up an entire ounce in one joint. But they didn't have big ass papers like that back in the day. So I'd take a couple of, let's say you were using zigzags or, whatever, if you were a top person, JOB, you take a couple of books of those, and you start by, you take two papers and you lick a little bit of the end and you overlap it, and you start overlapping, and you figure out your length, and then you figure out your width, and you do these overlaps, and you paste all those together, and then on all those loose ends, we would sit there and we'd cut the glue off of the other papers, wet them, and we'd seal all of those ends up, so you end up with one big ass fucking paper, like, however big you needed. And then you'd cut that fucking ounce up, you'd de-seed, de-stem it, and you'd roll that whole fucker up in one big ass joint. And that's what we were doing this weekend. We were smoking that ounce, Who else has teleported to Waffle House? I have never teleported to one, but I've spent some time in a few. Hey, Tom, Canadian here. Since we were on the topic of weed, I thought you might be interested in the fact, that went by quickly, hang on, that I worked in a weed plant. It's a fun job. Cheers, right on, man. What is this up here? Fucking Snapchat. You know, I put out stories on Snapchat, and Snapchat sends you these. Hey, we got a friend idea for you. How did you come up with a friend idea? This guy over here is a German physicist. This one over here is an adult film star. This guy drives a fucking dump truck. How are you curating a friends list for me? A, when I don't interact with anybody other than two people in town, and B, I put out nothing but political content there. The FEMA guy says he teleported. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. What's the occasion? For what? Tonight's live? To try and boost the algorithm. Literally boosting the algorithm. Your content gets viewed and it doesn't get viewed because it goes up and down on the algorithm. It happens all the time on all of the platforms. It's not any kind of like conspiracy or anything like that, but every now and again you get into an algorithm slump. And the way that you can get out of said algorithm slump is by having as many people as humanly possible interact and boost your content. And one of the things that you can do is continue to put out the same level of content that you're doing and just encourage people to interact with it. And you can go live more often and get people in the live, liking the live, sharing the live, commenting on the live, and boosting the live into the algorithm. Been doing a little bit of watching today of the content, and something's been clicking this afternoon that's caused a decent little jump in the viewership. Still not back to where it needs to be, but something today clicked, and hopefully that continues on. We're getting ready to end the first quarter, I should say, of the year, and they, from what I understand, sometimes start kicking in a little bit more advertisement money and money to boost content in that second quarter. We'll see. Does tapping the red heart do anything? Yes, it does. Dude, I like your shirt. Great band. Thank you very much. Thank you, Awaken. You've been a member for a little bit now. You've got that second or third sticker there with the Jerry hand. If you guys become a member, you see here this person who's highlighted in green and has the little sticker next to him. That's an indication that that person is a paid member here. And I think everyone who is a paid member to the page, that is all greatly appreciated. What's your favorite weed strain? Whichever one my guy puts in the bag next. Who do you think the next mayor of Chicago will be? No fucking clue. What is your take on the economy and price of fuel? I think it's dog shit. I only interact with the weed store guy, the liquor store guy, and my 25-year-long neighbor. There you go. I'm considering renaming the place my dogs take a dump the Charlie Kirk Memorial Shit Pad. I think signage is required for something like that. You're going to need to officially take care of that by making sure that you capture that moment on video / photography, and with some type of signage to commemorate it. Fuck Donald Trump. I agree. Tom, you should be the next mayor. No, I shouldn't. I don't even live in the city of Chicago. The hamburger will be the next mayor of Chicago. I'm calling it. Maybe you're right. Get it done the old English calligraphy. I must have missed something there. If you had to fight a ninja every time you took out the trash, would it pile up, or are you stepping up? I'm probably getting my ass kicked. Cody Prince, thank you very much for becoming a member, a support level member. Yeah, if I had to fight a ninja every time I had to take the trash out, I'm taking ass whoopings. Ass whoopings. I'm not beating a ninja. Are you out of your fucking mind? And is it just me, or is it anybody in the house that takes out the trash? Because if it's just me, then somebody else is taking the fucking trash out every goddamn time. So I'm not taking an ass whooping. How are you doing on TikTok? Okay. Pappas is going to win the next mayor, but Quigley would be better. Yeah, I don't know if Pappas is going to win or not. Maybe she does. I'm assuming you're talking about Maria Pappas. as long as it's not Brandon Johnson. No, I think the people of the city of Chicago are done with Brandon Johnson. If you guys are on any of the other social media sites, keep in mind that I'm also on. I have a Facebook page. We're approaching 10,000 followers there. It's growing slightly, slowly. We've got I'm on Instagram. What are we at? 40,000 followers there. Threads, Bluesky, Snapchat. I post memes every day to Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and no, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and Bluesky. How often do I have to clean my glasses because I wear them like this up on the top of my head? Constantly, all the time. I do have a Substack. I'm starting to do a little bit more there, but I don't do the a lot of people use those for like newsletters and shit like that. I don't use it that way. And I don't do as much on there because it's not tied in with the programs and platforms I use to take content and spread it out over multiple platforms at once. We've already talked about the next mayor of Chicago thing. You're only hearing on Instagram. You find me on Instagram. Go to the link in my bio here, and it'll take you to, or you go to my website, Old Hippie Media, hippie with an IE, and there's a follow page, and it's got a link to every one of my social medias. It's got a link to my Snapchat, my Clapper, my Facebook, my Instagram, Threads, Bluesky, Twitter, I think LinkedIn, and YouTube and TikTok. Substack is different, yes. YouTube it is. And that's the thing is there are a lot of people that just like YouTube. There are a lot of people that just like YouTube. Sorry, I was reading something that came in. There are a lot of people that just like Facebook. There are a lot of people that just like Instagram. And so I try to spread content around to the various platforms now, realizing now that you can't drive everybody to YouTube because the Instagram people don't want to come to YouTube. And the Facebook people don't want to come to YouTube. They want to be on Facebook and Instagram. So lost some time thinking the right path was just driving everybody to YouTube, but we're making up for lost ground now. Hello from the Canadian side of the Thousand Islands. Hello. Time travel opportunity anywhere in time, but only once there and back. Where are you going? How long do I got? All Republicans have blood on hands as complicit with what is done. Joe from Canada. Amen. Hello. Love the impromptus. Thank you. Could you beat 30 Canadian geese in a fight? No weapons. Go. Fuck. 30. That's no. They're some mean bastards. Like if you'd have to get brutal. You'd have to start snapping fucking necks. Somebody's asking me if YouTube is the best platform of all the social media platforms I'm on. I think it's the best for me because of two reasons. It is the most generous as far as revenue sharing, and it has the fewest restrictions. You can do the most stuff here. You can be a little bit more free here. So, like, all of my video content is on YouTube. But I also have a chunk of that video content go to Facebook and Instagram and other places, but all of it's here. Not all of it can go to other places. Do you ever feel overwhelmed with the amount of people that are following you? No, that doesn't bother me. I've liked here, and it's nice to know you are better taken care of here. TikTok is here. I found it out in 2021. It is. YouTube does work with its content creators much better than TikTok does. It's just a fact. None of us could beat Canadian geese. They are ruthless. That's what I'm saying. Canadian geese, they're motherfuckers. They're motherfuckers. You'd have to be really ruthless, and you'd have to start grabbing them and snapping necks and grabbing them and snapping necks before, because they're going to beat the shit out of you in the process. Canadian goose versus an Australian kangaroo. I don't know. Kangaroos, they fuck some shit up. What's the revenue share, if you don't mind me asking? It's all over the place. It's all over the place. There is no kind of, I mean, it quite literally is all over the place. In 1 month could be in one spot, and the next month could be in the next spot. I'm. It is a constant up and down with it. It's just more generous, that's for sure. Like my CPM for this month, I'm averaging is $7.28. Have you ever seen a mongoose? Aren't the mongooses, Renee? Isn't that what's in Jamaica? What are those things in Jamaica? Mongoose. There you go. They're all over the Sandals resort we stay at. You assume December is the best month? I think my best month was actually November on YouTube. But at the end of the year, advertisers are paying far more and they're putting far more ads out. And then you go into a post-holiday slump in January. The Australians lost an actual war to emus? Jesus fuck. How high was my view count over the summer? I don't know. Where was my view count over the summer? Come on, load up. Jesus Christ. August and September. Well, mid-September I was doing 1.7 to 2.2 million a day. Yeah, September 16th, 2.114. September 18th, 1.736. So, Portland, Oregon, hello. The Emu War was real. Is Paul Simon dead? I don't know. Is he? Are you talking about Senator Paul Simon? I thought Senator Paul Simon died a few years ago, didn't he? Hello from Pittsburgh, the drinking town with a football problem. Paul Simon is alive according to Google. Well, there you go. Slinger? What's... My bad. The singer. Okay. Paul Simon announced his North American tour an hour ago. Tom missed my comment again. Sorry, say it again. Not the singer. He's alive. Okay, we're all over the fucking place. Everybody dial it in. Focus, focus, focus. New Zealand. Hello, Gwen. How you doing? I'm sorry. Beautiful New Zealand. Awaken. Love that song. LOL. Right on. Somebody just blurted out lesbians. Okay. That's the opposite of focusing, folks. What are we talking about? No fucking clue. Absolutely no fucking clue. So far, I've got lesbians, Paul Simon, Awakenings, and New Zealand. A 9-iron? Nixon was president in 1973. No shit. I know, I was born in 72. Let's talk about No Kings next. Thank you. Let's talk about No Kings next weekend. You can talk about No Kings next weekend. I've got family stuff to attend to next weekend. Was it Jimmy Carter that fucked up the fuel prices in the 70s? No, it was the oil producing nations and the fact that we were not very independent back then. What do I think about ICE at airports? We're going to see. Hopefully, it's not horrible, but I'm not holding my fucking breath. Simon and Garfunkel. There you go. Do I like gyros? They're okay. Renee likes them far more than I do, but they're okay. I like them. Like, I don't do the tzatziki sauce, and I don't like onions, so I have my gyros with just tomatoes. Would you say that there's anything about conservatives that you agree with? Yeah, I agree with your right to keep and bear arms and carry a gun, uh, as laid out in the Constitution of the United States. I believe in the death penalty. I believe in first strikes on foreign nations if we actually have an imminent threat that we can verify. I'm a capitalist. So, yeah, I have a few things that I agree with them on. Drink a classic Coca-Cola. I don't like the dark colas. And listen, I don't hate Coke and Pepsi, but they're not. I don't ever order a Coke or a Pepsi. Sprite, Starry, Sierra Mist, or Orange Crush. If none of that is available, ice water does the trick. I would classify myself as center left, yes. Would you ever vote for a Republican president? I was prepared to vote for John McCain when he was going to run before Bush got the nomination, but in today's day and age, there is nothing I can see that would make me vote for a Republican right now. The Republican Party would have to do a shit ton of metamorphosis for me to ever consider voting for any of them. Why wouldn't you want to be a pepper too? Dr. Pepper is okay. Root beer is okay. I prefer a root beer over a Dr. Pepper. Just found Am I Evil live by the Big Four, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. Holy shit, nice. I'm a Pepsi man. Renee loves Pepsi, which is quite awkward living in the metro at LA. You should be on Coca-Cola down there. You should have a Coca-Cola in your hand and a shit ton of peanuts in that Coca-Cola bottle. Trump makes Bush Jr. look like fucking Stephen Hawking, right? Remember when we thought W was the dumbest motherfucker to ever grace this earth with the imprint of his foot? I don't know what happened, but I just got kicked out of here and popped into another YouTube channel. Well, that sucks. I can't believe Mitt Romney was just a few years ago, right? Right? I bet you that you would take Mitt Romney and fucking Paul Ryan now. and neither one of them were good for the position. Mr. Pibb? Yeah, you know. Even though I don't like Bush or didn't like Bush Jr., I never once thought he hated America. That's the point. We have never been in a situation where we actually believe that the President of the United States hated the United States of America. And that's the case with Trump. He doesn't like any of it if it doesn't suit him, if it doesn't work for him. He's not a patriot. He's a self-serving piece of shit. Chapter 17 sent 5 Tom Powell Jr. gift memberships to various people. So if you just received a gift membership, you have 1 month of free membership as a result of Chapter 17 being very gracious. I appreciate that. For those of you who are members, just understand that I do not produce anything new and unique for members because I want all of my content to be free for everybody. So none of my content is behind a paywall at this point in time. The membership is strictly a support level membership. It's $4.99 a month, and it's a way for people to financially support what I do so that I can keep doing content every day for you. If you want to sign up, great. You don't have to by any stretch of the imagination. I also have memberships, I think, on Facebook, but here and TikTok. But this is the primary place where I do that. So if anybody out there wants to financially support the page, you can be a member. If not, the best way you can help us out is just to watch the content that I put out that's free in its entirety, interact with it, comment on it, share it, like it. Just leave a comment in the comment section telling me I'm an asshole. Just interact with it. Mountain Dew all day, every day. I used to drink a shit ton of Mountain Dew, about 2 liters a day. I haven't had Mountain Dew in 7, 8 years, maybe. Howard Dean. Remember when a rambunctious exception or victory speech cost you your career? Was I a gamer? Never really was. Never really was. You like my shorts? I appreciate that. I get paid far more money from the long form videos than I do the shorts, but the shorts do seem to bring a lot of people in. So I like to do both for the people. I'd like to be able to dial back to 10 shorts in the morning and then 10 videos over the course of the day rather than 15. Maybe see how that goes, but we'll see. You haven't had any pop in 5 years. When you drank, what did you drink? I didn't drink. Like, I've had alcohol, but like I didn't have a drink. You know what I mean? There was like, I need to have this or something like that. I hated alcohol for the most part, so I was never really a drinker. I've been a smoker most of my life. Cannabis, herb, Mary Jane, 420, the sticky icky, the chronic, the illy, the devil's lettuce, the Lord's lettuce, the giggle bush, Maui Wowie, grass, weed. How's it hanging? It doesn't really hang. It just kind of sits there like a gumdrop on a shag carpet. Lucifer's arugula. There you go. I have a soda stream that I converted with a 5-pound CO2 bottle that cost me about $30 to refill every 2 or 3 months. Interesting. What an analogy. An apt one, though. A fungi mushroom on a forest floor. So Conley, I think you're talking about sort of like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure scenario, where you go through time and bring all of the great leaders here to the current present. Yeah, shit would go really, really bad. We would be living in a very different world. Mushrooms are vital to a forest ecosystem. Fair enough. What's the story with the dead guitar? It is a D'Angelico semi-hollow body Grateful Dead guitar designed in conjunction with the band. They don't make them anymore, but they're not very hard to find. You can find them for about $1,500 to $2,000 a piece if you Google it. This is a music tribute wall. I have one in front of me and then this one next to me. I had a cheap acoustic guitar hanging here just to bring a musical element to the wall. This landed in the lap of the guy who owns the local music store in like September of 2020. And he called me and asked me if I wanted to buy it before he put it out for sale. I said, I would love to have it, but I don't know how to play. That should go to somebody who knows how to play. And I said, no, put it out for sale. He then called my wife and said, "Are we sure he doesn't want this?" And my wife bought it behind my back, I want to say in October, late September, early October of 2020, and stuck it underneath my kid's bed. And after we got done opening all of our Christmas presents on Christmas Day 2020, and I was cleaning up the wrapping, she came out with this in its case and said, "Oh, by the way, here. We've agreed that we, being her and the guy who owned the music shop, that you should have this guitar." So she bought it off him and gave it to me. Yeah. Yeah. And just to show you how much I pay attention to the credit card bill, which I pay, it was paid on the credit card bill and I didn't even notice a blimp. So that's the story on that guitar. She also got me this Jerry Garcia serigraph that you see up here. Oh, on PayPal, my bad. This serigraph. This is a serigraph of a painting of Jerry Garcia. 5,000 of these made. The artist signed each one of them. Each one of them is numbered. The number is up here. I'm not going to get up and show it to you right now. And then this sat in a protective tube for 15, 18 years until I got this office in 2020. And then she took it from the tube and went and got it matted, framed, and brought it back. And then a follower of mine in Florida, out of the fucking blue, without any notification, sent me this pencil drawing of Jerry Garcia, already framed and matted, that had been sitting hanging in his house for I don't know how long. He was going to downsize. He didn't know anybody that wanted it. His kids didn't want it, and he just fucking sent it to me and said, "Here, you should have this." So that's on the wall in front of me, the wall that you guys don't ever get to see, the wall that's I face every day. That wall has Dave Matthews, the Woodstock poster, Stevie Nicks, a series of guitar picks, this Jimi Hendrix painting, that Jerry poster drawing, a naked ray gun skateboard deck, a picture of the Beastie Boys and Run DMC in New York City in 1985, a ukulele I bought in the Bahamas, this amp and each one of the plugs is a keychain, Stevie Ray Vaughan, George Clinton, the Blues Brothers, Iron Maiden, Melissa Etheridge, Pink Floyd, Cheap Trick, Rush. I have a drum cymbal that's going to go in here, and then I have a picture of Joan Jett. How are we making fun of me?
Yes.
Why?
Because you said the ukulele from the Bahamas.
Yes.
And I go, as one would.
As one would. Well, I was in the Bahamas. They had a ukulele. I'll tell you, it was a bitch getting it home.
Yes, it was.
Just like that big ass fucking head was a bitch. When we go on the cruise in July, if you're planning on bringing big gifts home, have a big carry-on to bring on the plane. It's a bitch. And to sit with this Jamaican head between my legs all the way home from Jamaica in 2019. Touch of gray. You see this piece? This piece is heavy as fuck. It's wood, it's laser engraved. It says every silver lining's got a touch of gray. And then the guy would either cut a jerry hand or a lightning bolt or a steely. This is cut all the way through, and then there's an actual piece of a tie-dye shirt stapled to the back of it. I bought this off of some deadhead on Facebook. It's heavy as fuck, but I like it. And he did different lyrics and different signs, and you could get, something from Sugar Magnolia with the lightning bolt or something like that. And then this one's made out of metal, and it was cut out with fire by a follower on TikTok and sent here. My Viking helmet? Yeah, it's normally covered with aluminum foil. It's my tin foil hat, but the foil got all loose and I got to recover it. But it's going to take a lot of an aluminum foil. And I got to make sure my wife is in a very good mood because I'm going to chew up the aluminum foil when I do it. Yeah, I don't know how it fucking works. It's fire and metal. The fuck? Busted my fucking balls. What is a typical Monday look? There is no typical Monday. There's no typical anything anymore. Wifey is always right. You wrap all gifts in tinfoil forever. $18 at a Creedence Clearwater Revival Doobie Brother ELO concert. Jesus. How do you start your day? With a fat shit. What's your favorite thing to do when you get toasted? I mean, it depends. Usually I just like to chill. Sometimes I like to be outside fucking around in the yard. Sometimes I just like to listen to music. Your father used to say, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Yeah, see, I mean, that's kind of like, that's what I'm saying. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. Aluminium foil is a modern miracle. Namaste. Troops are screwed, and then some. I would enjoy THC better if it didn't make my heart race. There you go. Same with the booger sugar, eh? Like I used to do booger sugar in my late teens, early 20s like a motherfucker, but now if I even thought about doing a fucking bump right now, I don't know what the hell would happen to my heart. And I'm not willing to risk it for the biscuit. Don't let your kids take the ASVAB test, y'all. What? Booger sugar, the Peruvian flake. Toot, 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 screw. Nose candy. That's what I'm talking about. Back in the day, used to head over to the bar, come get some in Cicero and get it from the Birdman. I bet Tom will retire for the night soon. Yeah, I'm not too far off. It's 8:45. Yeah. 8:45 by 9:30 feet out in the bed. But fuck, by 9:15 feet out in the bed. We don't have to worry about the kids. They're not signing up to do fight for Israel anytime soon. They know what's up. I've taken the ASVAB. Why would anyone want to join the U.S. military?
We have treated veterans. Absolutely. I never took the ASVAB or the SATs when I was in school. Um, did I take the ASVAB? I enlisted in the Navy twice. I made it all the way through MEPS, the 2-day processing, military enlistment processing. Uh, both times I think both times were in Indianapolis. Was one time up here? Anyway, and I got bounced for two different reasons. So, but I don't know if I ever took the ASVAB. Love you in Philly. All the best. Hitting the hay. Right on. Amen to Philly. Have a good day tomorrow. Get a cheesesteak. Do the fucking thing. You know what I mean? What is this? I smoked weed mostly, stayed away from chems. It's 11:14 by you. Yeah, I'd be fucking passed the fuck out. It's 10:15 by you. Then I must have taken the ASVAB. Yeah, I don't know. It was a long ass fucking time ago. God damn, can you imagine if I had made it into the Navy? Jesus. You got school tomorrow? Take it easy, bud. Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping it up here in just a moment myself because, damn, I need to get some ice cream into me and put my feet up. If Trump actually believes he's going to be drafting people for his dumbass war, he's dumber than I thought. Someone once called Pittsburgh hell with the lid off. Damn, that's kind of harsh. Pittsburgh's a decent city. Although I've never had one of your famous Permanente Brothers sandwiches. Do I have a favorite hat? How long have I had it? You know, my favorite hat of all time, I no longer have. My favorite hat of all time was a very simple, very nicely worn in and fitted blue denim baseball cap with a roughed up curved lid, a bill, I should say, and an embroidered Grateful Dead red, white, and blue steal your face. I wore that hat through so many goddamn states, I can't even begin to tell you. It has gotten me picked up in more than my fair share of hitchhike rides. It kept the sun off of my face for years. I loved that goddamn hat. I don't know when I no longer had that hat, what happened to that hat, but man, would I have loved to have been able to hold on to that hat. Now, my favorite current hat is probably my baseball. I was going to say my Peace, Love, and Taco baseball cap, but if I'm being completely honest with you, it would be my bucket hat. I absolutely love bucket hats for a number of different reasons, and I've got a handful of them. And when we go on vacation, I take bucket hats. I mean, this is my travel wall. That's Renee and I in Alaska, bucket hat. Here we are in Houston. We were looking a little bit nicer because we were going to be meeting some VIPs. The Bahamas, bucket hat. Little mask from the Bahamas. Oh, Houston, this is my friend's mission patches, my friend that works for NASA. He's been to the International Space Station twice. Anyway, Bahamas, bucket hat. No bucket hat in New Orleans, bucket hat in Mexico, no bucket hat in the water in Jamaica in 2019, bucket hat in Belize, no bucket hat in Canada. So, I'm kind of fond of the bucket hats. Just saying. Granite City, Illinois. You're wrapping up?
No, oh no, there's something wrong with, I don't know if it's Google or, YouTube, but like I'm trying to get through the short and it won't even give me the subtitles. I can't even play the video, so I can't see what it's about. So I got, all the longs are done. The shorts, I have 6 or 7 to do, so I'll just run up through 2.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here in just a minute. Are you looking to send her an email?
Yeah, pesto ravioli.
You're going to tell her how many?
Yeah. So
Do you
I
need to
just-
take that?
Nope, I just needed to.
Leave the door open. I'm going to be wrapping up
remember
here.
what it was called.
Well, thank you very much, Robert. Good night from Ohio, says Thiggy. Actually, good night from Chicagoland. Guys, thank you very much for stopping in. Go watch all of the content. Get all of your friends over here and family members to watch the content. It's how we support ourselves. It's free to you. I put the time in to make the content. You've got to take the time to watch the content, and the whole thing keeps spinning. I'll be able to keep doing it every day. All right? Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.